Just Brew here. Today we're going to do another Let's Browse video. This is only the second one we've done on the channel, but I'm hoping that this will become a permanent fixture in the channel. I'll have my gaming videos, and then I'll have these Let's Browse, where we look over old gaming magazines, old media magazines, and old gaming websites. And we'll just kind of look through them together, and we'll just kind of like browse and talk about stuff. It's a way that I can talk about what's going on with the channel, but also simultaneously talk about like gaming stuff. And it's something I like to do anyway. It's like a hobby thing of mine, is to look through old like magazines and old media, so it can like they can go hand in hand. This is a December 1999 issue of a magazine called Incite, Games for Life Incite. This is the premiere issue? I didn't even realize. So this came out in December of 1999. This is issue number 1. I never heard of this. I think this was a Canadian magazine. But as you can see, they've got like this model on the front, like, you know, performing as Lara Croft. This is a theme that I noticed in some of the other Incite magazines, is that they have like, it almost seems like an excuse for them to have like a hot lady show up and like cosplay as a character, and them like film it, or not film it, but like video or take pictures of it. So I think that's kind of funny. But so it's like I'm just making sure my screen, all right, everything's good. So we're just gonna take a look through this, and I'm also just gonna talk about some stuff that's going on with me and stuff that's going on with the channel. So how are you guys doing? First off, like you know, I've asked you guys to comment in the past. Sometimes you guys have shared like some thoughts about like what's going on in the video, but you know, how have y'all been? I'm curious. In the past few weeks, I've had to like question, you know, stress has kind of taken its toll on me personally and my mental health, and I'm pretty good about meditating and keeping myself centered, and that's something that I've kind of struggled with here lately. But I feel like I'm slowly gaining grasp on my faculties again, so that's good. I need to do that. But the past few weeks, really what it is, it's just a thing about some life decisions that I have to make, and just some things that have been going on in my personal life that really haven't been that bad, but then like, because there's so many little things that kind of add up and accrue, that it kind of ends up being rough. So one of the things that I use, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do pills, I don't have any vices, and so my stress relief is escapism and playing video games. And there's other healthier ways that I also get rid of it, but like the one that you all see the most is me playing games. So when you all see me recording myself and like playing games and stuff, that's me literally like sitting back and relaxing. It's really funny that as I'm talking about that, the first advertisement I switched to is some people in a surgery thing. I work adjacent to the medical field, and so like, I don't know, I feel like that can sometimes be really, really stressful. And sometimes I wonder if I've bitten off more than I can chew, or rather, if it's something I want to chew at all. Also funny to note though, is this is an advertisement about a 3DFX. It's about a graphics accelerator. One big piece of news for the channel is that a while back, my wife made some changes to her computer, made some changes to like her hardware and stuff. She got a new computer. A family member sold her a very nice computer at a great rate, and in addition to that, he donated some extra pieces and parts, saying like, you know, I don't need these anymore. Since you all bought the computer, do you all want these? And I didn't think anything of that. We were like, sure, yeah, you know, maybe there's some mice, or maybe there's a mouse in there, or maybe there's like a keyboard or whatever. But those parts from like his leftover parts from his old computer I've been able to put in my computer, and I am able to sustain much higher graphic fidelity on my computer and play more modern games. I've been able to record while playing more modern games. I've been able to record while playing more heavy-duty emulated games. And so because of all that, the future of the channel is looking pretty bright as far as like what I can play and record myself playing, and what I can enjoy like in my downtime, what I can record myself like playing for you guys. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope that you all are too. This is hilarious. In your professional opinion, would a leg blown off by, say, a plasma gun have a similar texture? That's hilarious. So this guy, because he has a 3D FX, I guess it's like a graphics processor is the joke, that the surgeon would ask, is it similar to that? Sim Theme Park. This threw me for a loop because I recognize this game. Like, I recognize this monkey. I recognize this turtle burger. I remember this this like little demon thing. You can't really see it very well, but there's like a little demon thing, dragon right here. I remember all this, and but I remember it from a game called the Theme Park Roller Coaster, and so I had to look this up. And all of these are by a company called Tree Frog Interactive or Bullfrog Interactive. Yeah, Bullfrog Interactive. They made this game. They made a few different iterations of it for different like consoles, and then also for PC. And it's like this old theme park game. Like, this was like during the Roller Coaster Tycoon days, but this one was 3D, and this one had like a slightly different feel. This one was like more whimsical and fantastical. It was kind of cool. I liked it. I remember playing it a lot, and I remember my little sister. Actually, my little sister played it a lot. This was our first. Well, we got 2 games with our PlayStation 2. The year it was 2000, I believe. Whatever. Yeah, it was 2000. And or was it 2001? It was 2001, I think. It's whatever year the PlayStation 2 had just come out. And my mom, she asked me earlier in the year, what did I want for Christmas? And I said a PlayStation 2. And her and my dad sat me down and said, like, look, we're not going to be able to afford a PlayStation 2 this year, and we're sorry. And I felt like, I was like, it's okay, yeah, I get it. Like, you know, so I said, like, what I wanted. That year for Christmas, my parents got me a PlayStation 2. And I remember I was so ecstatic. They told me that I could plug it into the TV in the basement. And I got so excited, I ran down the stairs, and on the way down the stairs, I fell. I held the PS2 in such a way that it was safe. Like, it was like my baby. And the first 2 games that we had for it were Spider-Man, which I no longer have, and Theme Park Roller Coaster. That PS2, I still have that PS2, and I still play it regularly. All of the original hardware still works in it as of like a few weeks ago. So like the power supply in those things was pretty serious. Like, everything in those was pretty serious. Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. I remember this game. It says coming soon for Windows 95 and 98, but trust us. But I for some reason remember this on console. So I don't know anything about Incite Magazine. I don't know, I'm gonna kind of like look over here a little bit. Let's zoom in. We didn't do that last time, so you couldn't really read it as well. Welcome to Incite PC Gaming. We're really excited to bring you a new kind of computer gaming magazine, one that we think you'll enjoy every month. Incite PC Gaming is no ordinary gaming magazine. You're a player, and I don't mean just games. You're into the coolest movies, music, and TV shows. You like to stay in shape, play sports, and look good because you're a success. You like nice cars and know all about the latest gadgets and toys. This is a game magazine built for guys like you. I don't know, I'm not really into sports, and I saw that they have like they don't have like a huge sports section, but it's pretty like, there's like a like a section of this devoted to sports, and I'm not into that, but everything else on there seems alright. We might look into more Incite Magazine in the future. I believe this was like a Canadian magazine, probably. I don't ever remember seeing this on the shelves. Diablo 2, 1999. Yeah, Diablo 2 was a huge, great game. It was a huge, not only success, but just like, it changed the landscape of action RPGs. It changed what an RPG kind of like was and was considered. Right now, I'm playing through Champions of Norath, and as I'm playing that, I keep thinking about the other action RPGs that I've played over the years, and I'm thinking about like the things that are. It's kind of interesting. I feel like action RPGs kind of represent a, what do you call it when you cut food, like a cross section. They represent like a cross section of video games as a medium. Like you can examine any genre, and you can examine like the changes to that genre, and like you can analyze them and be really analytical about them. And I feel like action RPGs are a really good way to do that. And because I've been looking into so many RPGs lately, I'm starting to see, I don't know, it's like if you look at two paintings by two different painters, but they're the same like type of painting or the same genre, there's like certain aspects of them that you can come away from like and learn a lot from. And I feel like that is slowly happening with me in action RPGs and just RPGs in general, which is really nice. Yeah, they have this focus on this model. We've got all the insider info and the new Tomb Raider game. Plus, don't miss our exclusive look at... What does that say? Our exclusive look at... Does that say Young Laura's Study, maybe? Regardless. One thing, so in the last Let's Browse we did, they also examined, like they had like a bunch of advertisements for Lara Croft and Tomb Raider, and I just forgot how she was just everywhere back then. She was like as big as like Mario is now, or Sonic or something. Like she was up there with all the other icons of video games. She kind of represented one of the things that video games represented. And there's a lot of people that would be like, oh, think about what they've taken from us. Like it's this idea of like sex appeal or whatever as part of the fantasy that video games like provide. But I think the thing is that there has to be a way to be able to provide that while also maintaining the decency and the dignity of the people you're trying to represent. This is one of those magazines that came with a CD. So they came with a CD-ROM. It looks like it had like 5 games on it, 5 demos. That's kind of neat. Yeah, I would have liked this back in the day. What is this? Oh, this is like consumerreview.com. Oh yeah, there's something else that we have to talk about later on in this. It's pretty funny. At 13,000 feet, your stove dies and you're toast. Check mine out. It's super lightweight, burns a little hot, but not too bad. It works great melting ice chunks for water at high altitudes. Blah, blah, blah. That's kind of cool. Like imagine like back in the day, like you just wanted reviews of like items. Consumer Review would be like a legitimate source for that. Chicks dig guys with small cars. Revolt. This looks actually kind of cool. This is it's an RC racing game where you like build little remote control cars and then race them. That's pretty cool. So I've been enjoying some moderate success on the YouTube channel. I have not advertised, like I have not like used any keywords. I have not jumped on like any sort of bandwagons as to what is popular or anything like that. And so far, I have 22 subscribers. So thank you all. I appreciate that. That means a lot, and I'm glad that there's 22 people out there that at least semi-regularly would like to see what I'm up to. It means a lot, and it's kind of overwhelming to know that there's even that's 22 people. I have a couple videos that have over 100 views. That means so much to me, and like it's kind of crazy. It's a weird sensation. The witch is back. Oh man. The movie phenomenon of the summer works its magic on DVD with some extra surprises. The Blair Witch Project. So my older sister is really big into film. Maybe that might be an understatement. She's like, when it comes to movies or comes to like film, she is like the highest opinion one of the highest opinions that I look to when like I watch a new movie or I watch something. I turn to her and say like, what did you think of this? And so I remember when I was a kid, she watched the Blair Witch Project and it scared the crap out of her. And I remember when I was a kid, it's so weird. It's so hard to explain to somebody now, but the mythos surrounding the Blair Witch back then, and like going to see it, or like watching it on VHS tape in your house, it had like such a very specific ambiance to it or whatever. It had a very specific feeling to it that it made it feel like you were watching something that really happened, that there's a mystery of we don't know what happened to these kids. And like a lot of that is lost nowadays because you literally can just fact check everything. That being said, recently, within the past few years, I've come up with like a different way to view the Blair Witch Project movie, and it makes it just as enjoyable. But it's too complicated to get into here. Just look around on YouTube, look at other people's views and opinions on that movie, and you'll eventually come up with some pretty valuable insights regarding that. Man, I would love to subscribe to Incite Magazine. For $23.88, you can have 12 issues of this magazine. That would be kind of cool. Miss gaming magazines, man. Object of desire. Oh my gosh, this is a huge thing for me. Is here recently I've been considering getting a dumb phone. So you know how everybody has a smartphone? Well, I don't really use my smartphone very often. I only use it really when I'm at work, and I don't really like the effect that the modern smartphone has. I don't have any social media. I don't have I don't play any games or anything on my phone. So I've been thinking about switching to a dumb phone, like one of these, like a Nokia or like whatever. And so I've looked into some stuff recently, and there's a thing called like a Cat S22. Literally, it's made by the company that makes construction equipment. And I've been thinking about switching to a dumb phone. So I might do that. I don't know. Planescape Torment, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. We are going to have to play this on the channel eventually. I have it. I bought a phenomenal pack of D&D themed or D&D games. It was all the licensed D&D games. Not all of them, but it was all the ones from a specific era. All of them that use this Infinity engine. And they were all in one package. And I think I got it for like $9.99. It was a good enough deal that the guy at the store, when I brought it up to the counter and bought it, he's like, "What is this? Has all these games in it?" I was like, "Yes." I'm a huge fan of these games from this era. I really like these isometric RPGs. They're really fun. I'm glad to have seen that Baldur's Gate 3 has reached such success. I think it's kind of silly that it's reached such success, considering those other games were really good and phenomenal too. But what is this? Preview for Halo: The Promise of Divinity. Some new games look good. Halo looks perfect, and it's not even half done. Oh, this is early development stuff from Halo. Interesting. There's a 2-minute scene in Terminator. Fat all-terrain jeeps with Gatling guns mounted on the back bounce over the hills. Lasers scorch the earth on either side while firing back at the enemy. That's what we'd want out of a game. Sheer mayhem in a world at war. With Bungie's Halo, you'll get that in spades, and it looks prettier than anything else you will see on a computer. I honestly think that I think Halo probably did deliver on that front, on delivering like a science fiction war that you can like fight in. Like it definitely delivered on that front. Halo will pit the humans against the Covenant on a giant ring in the sky. I like that. There's definitely this isn't a weapon in Halo, right? Like just a straight up machete. It's pretty cool though. So yeah, there's a lot of games that depict conflict between humans and aliens, and we don't really think that it's been done definitively yet, at least in regards to the look and feel, and more importantly, the story. So there's this philosophy or this ideology that I always like poke about video games, that I always kind of like throw this out there, and that is that there needs to be a definitive at any point in time, at any point in like in any era, there needs to be a definitive version of a specific genre or definitive version of a specific thing that other games can look to, or that like video game players or fans can look to and say, this is that game, this is this type of game. Like maybe a good example is like the Need for Speed games or Gran Turismo are landmark racing games. When you think of a racing game, your brain goes to Gran Turismo and Need for Speed as the defaults of like, okay, those are the racing games. When you think of JRPGs, for a long time, Final Fantasy was the default, like, JRPG is Final Fantasy. Skyrim is kind of one of those games where it's like open world fantasy RPG. Okay, my brain goes to Skyrim. When it comes to fantasy RPGs, there hasn't been that in a long time. Skyrim was the last one. Like, there might be a game that you think of when I think of open world fantasy RPG, and it probably is Skyrim, but people act like that genre is huge. There aren't really any games that do check all the boxes that game does. And then a big part of this that is really, well, actually, like, Baldur's Gate 3 might become the new version of that. I'm not talking about the best version of a genre. I'm not talking about the best game that you can make of that genre. I'm talking about a game that is the hallmark or the generic ideal of that. Like, there needs to be an RPG made within the next few years that is, you are a knight that goes to save a princess from a dragon. Like, and then it does not have any of nuance. It doesn't have any sophisticated like alteration to that. It just needs to be the groundwork. And I think the reason why that's important is because after a while you start to lose perspective on a genre if it doesn't have a representative for a long time. I don't know, that's just a personal philosophy that I have regarding game design and like the video game like industry as a whole. Do cartoons dream of electric sheep? So is this like a thing you're talking about? What is it? What was that game called? Oni. Yeah, it's called Oni, the Rockstar anime game. The world of Oni is like a real life anime movie that you control. Ever wanted to actually be in one of those Japanese anime cartoons, perform awesome karate moves, dive, roll, and then pull out a missile launching pistol to wipe the smirk off of some guy's face? That's what Oni is all about. That game is really good. I've never beaten it because it's really hard. I have it for the PS2 and it's very, very difficult. My brother is a victim of bad graphics. My son is a victim of bad graphics. NVIDIA. Oh man, Daikatana. This is the second magazine in a row we've seen an advertisement for Daikatana. Suspect everyone, trust no one. That game is from what I've heard, it's not very good. I've never played it, so maybe I need to give it a shot. Maybe I need to give it my own attempt. But isn't it an N64 first-person shooter? I don't know. Assimilate me, please. Oh, somebody's texting me. I had a good time in high school, but I was very a very good girl, at least. I have to say that for the record. Laughs. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I don't know anything about Star Trek, to be honest. I've been thinking about getting into Star Trek recently just because it's like fun to watch. I've been actually watching Farscape. Me and my wife have been watching Farscape, and she actually got that for me she got it for me for Christmas, but due to the quality of the DVD collection that she got, she went ahead and just gave it to me, and I was pretty excited about it. I love Farscape so far. We're a couple seasons in. It's really good. Love thyself, plunder thy neighbor. The Wheel of Time. I did not realize there was a Wheel of Time game. Interesting. Is it like an RTS game or? Can't tell. Oh no! This is black and white. The world is what you make of it. Oh my gosh! This is like the big game that Peter Molyneux is known for. That guy he cracks me up. I remember when he used to actually be a relevant facet of like the game industry, and like now he's nobody like would trust him with, like, nobody would get anywhere near him with a 10-foot pole. I think the last thing I heard from him was in like 2010 or something. He was doing like what was it? It was like advertisements, or there was like a convention or there was like a trade show about like upcoming games, and he was talking about that Fable. There was like going to be some Fable PvP game where like it's one team faced against another, and the guy just, as he talks, he just spins yarns. Like he literally just it feels like everything he says is a lie. It's pretty rough, poor fella. But he's just got this way that he talks where he just tries to pull you into a fantasy. I mean, that's the thing about selling a game and building hype. I think he's partially responsible for that, like, culture of hype culture. Like, the world will change indeed. Here they're talking about Warcraft 3. I don't think World of Warcraft had come out yet. This is 2000, or no, this is December of 1999. So yeah, they hadn't even come out yet. If at first you were disappointed to learn the next Warcraft game will not be like the first two, you are not alone. We were too, until we saw it at the European Gaming Trade Show in September. So maybe this is European. Maybe Incite Magazine is British. I don't know. I tried to look it up. I did not see a Wikipedia article about Incite Magazine, but this is hilarious. Be a Warcraft 3 world creator. You make the call. So it came with like a bundled world creator where you could build like your own scenarios and like maps and stuff. They just didn't know what was around the corner, did they? Playing the World of Warcraft, or the Warcraft 3 race card. Wow, that's... Revenant. One lifetime isn't enough. Coming back from the dead doesn't mean you're getting better. Includes all the tools you need to make your own custom levels. Yeah, there was a big thing. I guess because of Neverwinter Nights, like every other game at that time had to be like, hey, you have to have some sort of game editor or game creation tool in it to add longevity to your games. Rightly so. Road Rage American style. MechWarrior 3 Meltdown. I've been looking into playing some of the MechWarrior games. Surreal World. The Sims. I love The Sims. I don't think we'll ever be playing any Sims on the channel, but Sidewinder force feedback. I've seen this controller in real life, not the Dynamite one, but the Sidewinder that they're referring to. It's this one right here. It's a pretty clunky mess, but you know, as far as joysticks go, now this do unto your opponent before they do unto you. Like, look, they were trying to make this look all futuristic and cool, but geez Louise, isn't that awful? Like, imagine holding that. That's so weird. Why John Carmack hates everyone. Why would the industry's most notorious hermit create a community-based multiplayer online game? I mean, come on now. Okay, so this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about when I was going through this magazine a second ago. So last time we were reading another magazine, we were browsing through and we found this like advertisement for like a weird website, and it said something like, come play with us at da-da-da-da-da.com. And then I got to this and I was like, 1.net? What was 1.net? And I Googled that, and it was another game website. And so this was apparently back in the day. I don't remember this. I wasn't into PC gaming when I was a kid, because like the only computer game that we had when we were really young was like Pandemonium, and then our library had a few games that you could play. But so play dozens of all demos of all the current games. So apparently back in the day, so when you'd buy a game, it would come with the online service that you would have to either install or link up to in order to play the game online with other people. Well, in addition to that, you could just go to the online services website, and like they would have materials for you on that website. It's kind of weird to think of it like that. That would be like, I mean, I guess you can think of it like going to Xbox Live or whatever, and how they have the games advertised on Xbox Live. But it's also like if there was just chat rooms and there's strategy guides and like stuff like that on there, which I guess all that stuff is hosted on there. It's just weird to think of it as just like a quaint little website you would visit on your browser. So, but after I got thinking about this is kind of like GameSpy, isn't it? Like, do you remember GameSpy had like their own like website that you would link up to? I remember playing like Stalker and like hooking up to GameSpy.com. Don't let the upgrade cycle get you down. Here are 10 great games for your P133 MHZ computer. So these are like low-end games for back in the day. They were like, don't be sad that everybody's playing better games. The old Tomb Raider. We might need to go back and play Tomb Raider, just because like all the Warcraft games feature really good dungeons and stuff. She's obviously an iconic character, so we need to go back and like play one of those, I think. Fear, Loathing, and Descent 3. Sony PlayStation. Buy.com. Are these advertisements? Is this an advertisement for just like stuff you can buy on this website? That's what it seems like. They're just straight up like pictures of games. Game Boy Color. You have a Game Boy Color just come out. Wow, I love the Game Boy Color. When I was a kid, like you could not separate me from my Game Boy Color. It ate up so many batteries. The N64. I like the N64. Like the N64 seems okay. It's just it doesn't have any RPGs, and like that's the mainstay for me. Like that's the main thing I'm out to get. It's RPGs. Man, some old PC games. I kind of wish that I had a nice computer back in the day just so I could play like some of these. Out of all these, the one that jumps out at me is this Prince of Persia 3D game. It's awful, but I watched a playthrough of it at Games Done Quick one year, and it was hilarious. It was pretty interesting. It's so glitchy and bad. So here they're talking about music. Then what is this? Hello class. This is 2 Timing 101. Learn how to game every day and night and keep your girl happy to boot. This is awful. Like, what does this say? Here are some tips for keeping the little lady pacified while you indulge your other passions. Wow. This is so dumb. What's this say? That Dr. Drew says, oh wait, this is that Dr. Drew guy that's like on TV? Is that who that is? Men need to realize that they have to work hard to maintain balance in their relationships. And it's really interesting to think about how like that has changed yet not changed over the years. The perspective on like men playing video games and people playing video games in general, and how it's like how relationships, I guess, are maintained through that. Like a good example of something, like a good example of how that has and has not changed is there was a picture going around recently of this family all sitting around a dinner table at a restaurant, and somebody there was playing a handheld game like a Nintendo Switch, and everybody would comment on whether, you know, they thought it was appropriate or not for somebody to be playing their Nintendo Switch at the table, right? Well, a lot of people commented like, you all are being really like judgmental of that guy for playing his Nintendo Switch at the table, but in that same picture, half of the people in the picture are sitting on their smartphones. So it's like, how is that any different? I just don't think there is a difference there. These are silly. What is this? Online adventures with your guide, lag server. The internet used to merely be a haven for boys playing Quake Deathmatch. Well, no more. Online gaming is now open to everyone, from housewives to your average Joe. Mom, we're hungry. Be right there, honey. No, you. That's hilarious. Princess Beautifica makes another friend. Hi there, big boy. Want to slay my dragon? Oh my gosh. I spent a lot of time when I was younger playing MMOs. I played a lot of social MMOs. I played like a couple ones in particular that my experience with them, and like I really enjoy watching videos about Second Life now. I don't like playing Second Life. I don't play any MMOs now. I don't have the time or energy or commitment to do that. But I learned that like people from all walks of life devote a lot of time to MMOs, and especially those social MMOs. If only I could get connected. Oh, so this is like a thing trying to educate people on like, hey, these are games that you can be playing right now. They're really trying to get you into EverQuest. Oh man, card games, board games, word games. I think if I were an adult, if I were just like an adult that was by myself in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and like I lived alone, that I would totally be on the internet all the time. I would be on the internet about as much as I am now, which is like, you know, all the time. Star Trek Klingon Academy looks kind of neat. Tale from the Crypt. Wow, I just realized it's tale as in like, it was like, you know, wow. Wait, what is this? And the good news is Laura finally returns to raiding tombs. Is that like a thing that like, did they jump from, I guess Lara Croft, what is it, Tomb Raider 1? I've played the Tomb Raider games like briefly, but I've never like completed any of them. I've never played them in like Um, I've never played them like in their entirety, but this is obviously just a chance for them to get this lady to flop around in the desert in whatever this outfit is made out of, like this plastic shiny outfit. And you know, it worked out, boys. Good job. Silly. Review nuts and bolts. What does it all mean? Okay, so this is the section where they talk about sports games, but I will say this part was pretty funny. This part where they address, or they like have them like playing against each other, and they're just their reaction images of like them playing. At first we thought we'd take on the pros, but then we remembered how much fun it is to watch them beat each other up every Sunday. And then like look at their faces. I don't know who these guys are. I think Ricky Williams and Sammy Knight. These are obviously like athletes, football players probably. But I just love like the look on their faces, like as they're beating each other in this game. They're getting so serious about it. It's pretty good. Touted. The aggressive new line of gaming systems, Falcon Northwest. Coming home. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Somebody has recommended I play one of the other Legacy of Kain games, so that will probably be somewhere in the future. That'll probably be something we play down the line. There's so many games that I want to play, and not enough time. What is this? Olean? I didn't understand that. We understand there's more to life than video games, but that's for you to worry about. I didn't understand this advertisement. The Electric Playground. Is this another one of those, like, services that they were talking about? ppradio.com, ppontv.com? I don't know. I don't know what Electric Playground was, but it looks like some sort of media sharing thing, or media themed, like, reviewer thing. Coming soon to a home theater near you. Okay. Unreal Tournament. Unreal Tournament is one of those games that we had Quake and Unreal Tournament on the PCs at school, and people would like quickly try to get their work done so that they could play another round of that over and over and over. This is that Prince of Persia game I was talking about. Look how great it looks. I'm not playing that. Command and Clunker. We've been anxiously awaiting it, but does the new Command and Conquer game live up to the name? Invictus, in the shadow of Olympus. This looks cool. I am the master of fate. I am the captain of my soul. Looks pretty neat. I might have to look into this. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. It looks like a isometric traditional RPG, but with like a Roman aesthetic, which is really neat. A Greco-Roman aesthetic. What is this? Oh, okay, so this is like a little section about like hunting games. Omicron, the Nomad Soul. You think, you fight, you interact, only in a parallel universe. Who will you be after you die? I remember seeing this advertisement when I was like a kid, and I would just like, I would hold the magazine up to my face and try to see these like screenshots and be like, what is this game? What is this? I think I don't remember. I think I've looked into this game before and tried to figure out what it was, and I think that it's like a game that simulates an MMO. It's not actually an MMO. I don't know. We'll have to look it up later and figure out what that is. The cup runneth over. Action-packed box. Look at this gaming PC. This reminds me of that. We might see them in the future. Those contests where you would fill out like the words and like you would try to win this really nice gaming setup. Urban Chaos. I think I have this game. I probably do. On PS2. The GDI mission. Non-mission maps. What game are these for? I don't know. Command and Conquer. I see. Command and Conquer mission maps. What are these? Are these like Chips and Bits Inc. new releases? So this is like a place that just sells video games en masse that you can order. You would like order these like games through this magazine or this advertisement, and they would just show up at your house. That's pretty cool. Power tripping. I really like the idea of simulation games, but I have never really I've never really been very good at them. I don't like the number crunching that goes into playing them. I just want to play like a game naturally and like let things unfold. But if I do that, I do it in such a way that usually isn't very successful. Nearly 5 gigabytes of stuff. 45 minutes of interactive Incite TV show. That's kind of cool that this Incite this Incite Magazine had, you know, like its own like little TV show on it, or its own like little videos and stuff. In a pre-YouTube world, this was definitely like I would be foaming at the mouth for this. Diary of a Half-Lifer. Incite PC Gaming sits down with Gordon Freeman, everyone's favorite alien-killing PhD. The day of freedom is near. Okay, we gotta talk about this. 1 second. I'm gonna look at the back page. Alright, long lives. It's an Adidas advertisement. It's kind of funny. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about before I turn this video off, before I finish, I was like, what is V-Zones? Is this another one of those like weird gaming is this another one of those weird gaming or game websites where it's like a game service that you go to the website even though like you're not playing, or it's not just coming with the game, you're specifically going to the website to just see what it's all about, hang out. So I went to look up what vzones.com was, but I accidentally just typed vzones.com in my URL. Like, I didn't mean to do that. And I went to vzones.com and it's still active. I was like, what is this? And there's still people on there like doing stuff. Not only that, I looked on there like, not only are they doing stuff, like they had like a little thing that said like, come join us for our scheduled events or whatever. So I clicked the scheduled events. There's events going on right now. Like around the clock, there's people that are like, hey, do you guys want to play bingo? Do you guys want to play Call of Duty right now? Do you guys want to play this? It's just like a community of people that just want to hang out online, and they all got these little avatars and talk to each other. And I thought that's kind of cool. I don't think it's like a huge community. I don't think it's like ridiculously active, but it's still kind of neat to know that this is still around. It's not the sort of thing I want to participate in anymore, but it's definitely like from a archaeological standpoint, something that I would sit and scroll through and read all kinds of old comments from. So I just thought that was kind of neat that that's still alive here. This was what, 1999, so here it is almost 2024. 24 years later, this service is still going and people are still hanging out and, you know, making their little avatar people and playing chess with each other, playing Pictionary and MS Paint. So I think that's pretty neat. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and end this for today. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. I can't think of anything else, any other updates or anything. I've got some stuff coming down the pipeline in the future. I've got like a couple ideas for projects and stuff that I want to work on. I'm thinking about tackling what's currently on my plate, the games that I'm currently playing. Finishing up Pokemon Nuzlocke. Finishing up, well, not really finishing up because Wizardry apparently is going to take a while, but we're going to play some more Wizardry and just get a bunch of videos pumped out. You all seem to really love that. And maybe lay off some of the Risk of Rain Returns videos for a while. You all kind of get that, unless I do something with like multiplayer. And then I'm going to be playing more Harmful Park. I'm getting to a point where I can memorize those maps and just play through it over and over again. I know that you guys are probably like not super duper psyched about that, but I enjoy playing it, and I'm just recording and uploading everything I'm playing. This has really helped me to focus on my games instead of like having a wide variety of like games that I don't get. What is it called when you have choices, like choice fatigue or decision fatigue? I don't get that anymore because the decision's made for me. Tonight we're playing one of these 3 games that I play until I've beaten them. So I kind of like that, and it might help me cut down on my my backlog. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.